Good morning. Um, so I figured I would. I figured right now. I figured I'd try to go and be a little bit more real. Um, I I'm dealing with a lot of mental health issues, and it's based on the fact that I have cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer back in April, actually on my oldest son's birthday. Um, I have cancer, and it is now December. So from April to December, I've been dealing with a lot of anger, a lot of um, uncertainty. Um, what a lot of what's going on in my head is, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? What's my family gonna do? How will I survive this cancer? Um, will I have will okay, if I have, if I do survive the cancer, um, you know, how am I gonna put together the money um during the treatments and things like that, and um because Uber sure as hell is just, I'm barely hanging on with Uber and Lyft right now. um so a lot has been going on, and that's the big picture. And then things that are going on in my head about my family is like, um my relationship was failing, um because my head, I was mentally on just hold. I was mentally on hold. um I'm listening to people saying, "Oh, you'll beat it. You'll survive. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it." And not everyone, every cancer is different for everyone. Everyone that has cancer is different. They'll react differently. Their body responds differently. They have different anatomy issues. Um, the more you research it, the more questions you have. You have to make sure that your doctor knows what the hell they're talking about. There's so many things that come up, and it just really messes with your head. um you know so trying to understand how this could happen to me, why it happened to me. um yeah, it's just a million questions going on in my head. And then you try to include people, or you try to tell people that are supposed to be your friends or your family. You're telling people that matter to you, but then you find out that it's all superficial, or most of it is superficial. you know um I told my family, and they responded. They're like, "Don't worry about it. We got you. We got this. You got this. Blah blah blah." And that all sounds all well and good, but ultimately you are the one that has to go through all of this. You're the one that has to deal with the treatment. You're the one that you you have to figure out what your body is doing. You have to figure out, you have to react to how your body's feeling. You know, I wake up in the mornings, or not even just waking up, just I go through my day and I have to, I'm completely just like, all right, what's my body doing? You know, how what's going on with my stomach? What's going on with my bladder? You know, and this is a day-to-day thing. Not even, well, yeah, it's a day-to-day thing. It's a minute-by-minute thing. It's an hour-by-hour thing of just trying to figure all of this out. You know, then the burden of providing for your family, the burden of paying your bills, the burden of just keeping your sanity. It's, I don't wish going through any kind of mental issue like this on anybody. Because you're living in limbo, you know. I mean, my doctor, I've been through three doctors. Yeah, I've been to, no, three, I've been through two different doctors. Two different doctors, and changed my primary physician through all of this. Through this cancer diagnosis. And the treatment options, the surgery options have changed 4 different times. You know, so it's been one adjustment after another. It's been one question after another. It's been one test after another. Yeah, it's just, and then on top of that, then you have the insurance companies playing God on with your life. You know, because years ago, I want to say back, if I remember correctly, it was back in 2017, 2018, somewhere in there, where I was first diagnosed with BPH, which is an enlarged prostate. And the procedure that I had way back then, I am almost positive that if the insurance company had approved the MRI prior to having the procedure back then, I believe that I wouldn't be dealing with this cancer issue right now. I believe that if they had approved the MRI, it would have been picked up back then. Because I distinctly remember that physician way back then saying that there was something off in the scope of, there's I forget the name of it, but it was with a scope. It basically, you know, put a camera inside me and looked. I believe back then that if the insurance company had approved that MRI, I wouldn't be dealing with this now. So, needless to say, the absolute first procedure back in 2018 didn't work. Um, then I was on meds for a while. Then I switched from that doctor to another doctor, and I had what's called the Urolift. I had that procedure. That worked for a while. Again, not having an MRI, or not having the MRI approved, rather. So then that worked. And then just going back for normal blood work, going back for normal blood work. Okay, wait. So I had that second procedure and was then the meds, I wasn't on meds anymore. Then just going back for routine checkups and blood work and things like that. And then in my PSA levels, they kept creeping up. So my primary physician at that time, he was alerted. The other doctor that performed the procedure, he was like, all right, well, we're gonna monitor it, and if it keeps going up, then we'll address it. So finally it got to the point where, yeah, we need to address this. My levels kept creeping up. Then it got to the point where, yeah, we need to address this. So I had a biopsy. The biopsy came back positive in 2 different areas. And, he was like, yeah, you do have cancer. So then we're going to have another procedure to actually remove the organ itself, which was unsuccessful. Because that surgery, the scar tissue from the previous procedure was so much that he couldn't tell what was abdominal wall and what was the organ itself. So he had to stop. Now, switch to another doctor. This doctor is saying, okay, well, let's see. I'm going to schedule an MRI. This time, the MRI was approved. Okay, so this time the MRI was approved, and he was like, all right, well, let's take a look at the MRI. And he comes back after looking at it and says, well, if the other doctor had continued with the procedure of trying to remove the organ, I would be permanently messed up. I'd be permanently messed up if he had continued, but luckily he stopped. So, needless to say, I was thankful that he stopped, but at the same time, now I'm still like, what the hell is going on? What am I going to do? So now this new doctor has presented 4 different procedures to me. Obviously, he's leaning towards, instead of doing the radical extraction, he's just going to do a simple extraction. Okay, so then that procedure, that recommendation, after another consultation, that procedure changed into another procedure. So it's just been an up and down roller coaster. Now, mind you, here's the thing. Whichever procedure I go with next, it's either I'll be permanently messed up, living like, well, everyone says, okay, how's your quality of life? Okay, so one option, my quality of life will be, I'll be glued to the bathroom. I'll be in the bathroom every 5 minutes. I'll be in the bathroom every 5 minutes, every half hour or so. The other option is, the procedure will give me some relief, but I'll still have the cancer. And he says that the difference is that I'll have the relief. We'll monitor we'll change your diet up. We'll monitor the cancer. We'll monitor your levels, your PSA levels, and we will attack. We'll attack the cancer with radiation as needed, because that's what starts the clock, 15, 20 years. It says that with changing your diet up, I might not need the radiation. If my PSA levels stay where they are or decrease, then I don't need to worry. But if they keep creeping up, then we'll have to address it with radiation at that time. So, okay, I'm leaning towards that procedure. I'm fine with that, or rather, I'm slowly coming to grips with that. But it's just been one total mental descent into like so much despair, so much. I mean, this has just been a heavy thing, not just on me, but on my wife. And dealing with that, and then trying to deal with Uber. So trying to deal with Uber and Lyft, trying to put food on the table, trying to get money to pay bills, just not having a clear mindset. So Uber and Lyft, it used to be that, I used to be okay with driving Uber and Lyft when I started a couple of years ago. I was great with it. I was fine with it. I mean, it's not exactly my most defining moment, but it is what it is. I'm also a photographer. I've been an entrepreneur for years. So, it was no thing to me to just continue to work for myself. So I'm no stranger to that. But now you see, now you should be able to see why I have such a difficult time with dealing with Uber and Lyft, because they suck. On top of the app itself, it's being just sucking us dry. I'm dealing with health issues. I'm dealing with mental health issues. So all I can say is, user beware, buyer beware. Yep. Got a trip. I'll take this. I'll see you guys. You guys take care.